In the days of the gaming industry, where games being released every year has now become the norm, it has become increasingly difficult to find the hidden gems amongst them. That's why when I heard that Red Dead Redemption 2 was coming to Steam on December 5th, 2019, I was utterly stoked. The previous game published by Rockstar Games was Grand Theft Auto V, and at the time it was one of the most ambitious games yet. With 600 hours poured into it, it was a no-brainer why I would be hyped for their next upcoming game. When I bought the game on December 12th, launched it, and loaded it up, I was highly disappointed. Okay, now before you call me a hypocrite or flame me in the comments, I want to make it clear that I actually really like this game. I do. So let me explain why I was, quote, disappointed. I started this game avoiding almost every trailer out there and any social media surrounding it, so when I did get to playing it, I expected the game to be a lot like GTA 5. If you don't know what I mean, here's a few clips of GTA. I was oh so very wrong. Red Dead Redemption 2 is not your typical shoot-'em-up type of game. The game is much more relaxed, diving much deeper into the storyline and narrative than GTA ever did. With Red Dead Redemption 2 being a prequel to the previous game, Red Dead Redemption, it takes place in 1899, when the Wild West was starting to become a thing of the distant past. The game starts out with you being in the Dutch Van der Linde gang, after the infamous Blackwater Massacre. Dutch's gang consists of 23 members, which I will admit was very jarring at first, but the way the game manages to make everyone feel like real people was just completely unfathomable to me. It's a thing you'll honestly have to experience yourself, but I'll go a little deeper into it in a bit. Now, I'm going to be going into some controversial territory here. If you've been alive for the past, I don't know, 30 years or so, you'll know the saying, graphics don't matter, and I tend to disagree. If that was completely true, graphics would have more or less stagnated, and the race for better GPUs and things like ray tracing probably wouldn't have happened on a consumer level. So, when I learned that I could leave footprints in the snow, my excitement levels just jumped through the roof. I am definitely ashamed that It's not even that funny. I am definitely ashamed at the amount of times I probably wasted just drawing works of art in the snow. But in all seriousness though, this game needs to be commended for how visually stunning it is. It kinda shocked me when people complained about how unoptimized this game is, but in reality, it's because they're trying to run it at max settings, and as a PC gamer, I cannot play this at 30 FPS, I'm sorry. So instead, I sacrificed some visual settings to run it at 60. And I gotta be honest with you, it looks fucking amazing. Now, I'm gonna go into some major spoiler territory here, so go to the timestamp on the screen to skip it. Okay, this game, at least for me, was the first time that fear was shown in such a memorable way. Now, take the scene of Colm O'Driscoll singing. At the very beginning, he's very cocky, joking around and, not taken much too seriously. Then, two of his men get held at gunpoint, and you can see the fears slowly start to creep up on him. There might be no escape. He looks at his last glimmer of hope, instead seeing Arthur Morgan. Fear slowly overwhelms him. His heart rate increases, his breathing gets sporadic, he desperately searches for another way out, and then he takes his last breath. As if the graphics weren't already impressive enough, the character interaction in this game is just phenomenal. Just by hanging around camp, there are many stories to be told. You can watch Hosea teach old Jack how to read, or watch the gang sit around a campfire and sing along to songs. After doing missions, you can walk around camp and listen to their thoughts and opinions on what just occurred, which sounds like a small detail, but trust me, it's huge once you actually play the game. Another thing that surprised me is after doing heists, you'll sometimes encounter random citizens who witnessed your actions. It's these small details like this that really make the world feel real, and makes me realize how much I wish for these types of interactions in other games. And while we're on the topic of interactions, the wildlife in this game is just purely stunning. Every species has been painstakingly coded to their true real-life selves. Don't believe me? Here's a clip of a bald eagle fishing, and here's a clip of that occurring in-game. I just want to remind you that it was not scripted at all. It's just a random encounter in the game that literally made me say, holy shit, dude, this bald eagle just stole a fish. Pretty impressive for a small detail most won't even notice. Speaking of small details you probably won't even notice, there are some small details you definitely will. this is a very touchy subject to which I shall give my own opinions on. Throughout the game, it's very apparent that Rockstar just wanted to make this world feel realistic. Now, for most video games, there's a balance between realism and fun, but I think Rockstar might have crossed that threshold with the overabundance of animations. If you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2, I'll just start listing a lot of things that have an animation tied to them. Ahem. Picking flowers, eating flowers, skinning a small animal, skinning a medium animal, skinning a large animal, looting a body from the front, looting a body from the back, opening a drawer under that, opening a drawer other than the drawer that you just opened because there needs to be separate animations and key presses just for said drawer. At this point, I think you might see where I'm getting at. Now, I'm not saying that these animations are objectively bad in any way, they actually look really great, but they come at the cost of money and development time, and they don't always fit the situation at hand. I think the most infuriating example, at least for me, is crafting. There's a special type of ammo variation in this game called Split Point, to which Arthur Morgan the Almighty will manually, bullet by bullet, carve an X into them. Now, searching if this was a real thing or not opened a whole nother can of worms, which I learned that there are 142 abbreviations for bullets? Jesus Christ, Americans are crazy. Anyways, back to the topic. It takes Arthur 35 frames to carve a bullet, and the video you're watching is at 24 FPS, so 35 divided by 24 is 1.458 seconds. We're just gonna round it up to 1.5 for convenience sake, and in the game there is around 300 split points that Arthur can hold. That is literally around 7.5 minutes that you just spent holding down the enter key, watching an animation play over and over and over again. Please, Rockstar. I beg you, just make it so we can craft things in bulk. It'll save so much time. In retrospect, this video wasn't much other than a love letter to Rockstar, in the way that it didn't provide much criticism. But I'm okay with that, especially since nowadays there hasn't been much that we can say that was positive about this year. So, thank you for creating this world and letting me be immersed in it. You really showed the other greedy companies like EA and Activision that single-player campaigns are still relevant, and we don't need microtransactions littered everywhere and battle passes and all that just to make a good game. So, again, thank you. Wait, what? No. This is all a joke, right? Rockstar wouldn't do this. They're one of the good guys. Wait, shark cards? Wait, the gold? They're actually doing that? No. Don't do this. Wait, I thought they're supposed to, like, show them how great they were and all, not be one of the bad guys, right? They're one of the biggest offenders of this shit? Wait, no, don't you fuck